6.
The health and safety of our students and staff is our highest priority.
The superintendent of Cerro Gordo School District is temporarily closing the high school for in-person learning. Good evening, I'm Jen Lask. 7 students at the high school have tested positive for coronavirus. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is live in the newsroom. Jamie, you spoke to the superintendent. What did he have to say about what happened?
Jen, he said their high school will temporarily switch to remote learning. Parents I spoke to say they're doing their part to keep their children healthy. The Cerro Gordo School District has had 7 people test positive for COVID-19 at their high school. Those positive tests were confirmed within the last week.
It didn't really surprise me. We knew it would just be a matter of time after school started.
Sarah Carter has 2 sons who attend the elementary school.
We chose to do the remote learning to try and keep our kids out of it.
3 people at the high school tested positive over the weekend, bringing the total to 7 within the last week. Starting Tuesday, all Cerro Gordo High School students and staff will do remote learning. The superintendent says they don't know if the people who tested positive got the virus from someone at school, but they're taking precautions.
We recognize the uncertainty and concern regarding the evolving coronavirus pandemic. Please continue to encourage your children to practice social distancing and wearing of face masks during the times that they're not at school. We're requiring those things while they're at school.
Elementary and junior high in-person learners will continue to learn at school. All students and staffers who had close contact with the cases are being quarantined for 2 weeks. They will continue to monitor students and staff for symptoms and disinfect. Carter says she feels good knowing her kids are home.
We're doing our best to try and keep them safe.
That's something the superintendent says he's focused on too.
The health and safety of our students and staff is our highest priority.
In-person classes for high school students is planned to start on September 21st. And live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, thank you, Jamie. The Illinois Department of Public Health says more than 250,000 people total have now tested positive for COVID-19. More than 1,300 new cases were confirmed within the last day. 8 more people have died. In total, more than 8,100 people have died in Illinois since the start of the pandemic. The preliminary 7-day positivity rate is 4.2%. Illinois State Police are searching for an 18-year-old suspect in a deadly shooting that happened yesterday in Olney. Investigators responded to a shooting at North Walnut and East Laurel Streets, where they found 19-year-old Kyle Johnson with several gunshot wounds. He was taken to a hospital where he later died, and an autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. Police are searching for 18-year-old Rick Meter, who is described as white with brown hair, hazel-colored eyes. He is 5'11" and roughly 155 pounds and might also be with a female juvenile. A warrant has been issued for his arrest, and if you have any information, contact police. Loved ones of a missing Rantoul man are begging for more help in their search. 62-year-old David Franklin has been missing for almost 3 weeks, and a friend of the family, Jan Falvey, thinks police should be spending more time searching for him. Falvey's late father was a close friend of Franklin's, and she says their families have always been close. That's why she was so worried about his disappearance, especially as more time passes.
We're really worried about him. We're really scared for him, and we want to bring him home safe. He's confused, possibly, definitely needed medical care. He has people who miss him and are worried about him. Help bring him home safely, please.
Police have told us Franklin rides a blue mountain bike, which has wooden and metal racks on the back. He was last seen on East Grove Avenue in Rantoul, which is off of Highway 136. Well, you might have seen bright orange T-shirts around central Illinois today. The Leroy community came together for a friendship ride, all to remember a community member. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Cook is live in studio. And Gabrielle, who exactly are they honoring?
They're remembering Tyler Graff. He died in April, so his family wanted to spread his joyous spirit, and they did so by stopping throughout central Illinois. Tyler's mom, Pat Graff, came up with the idea of a friendship ride to honor him. He drowned earlier this year in a pond in the woods in Leroy. She reached out to people on Facebook mentioning the idea, but never thought this many people would show up.
Just want to brighten and better everybody's day that we come in contact with today. Anybody that sees us, you know, let's wave, smile, just make everybody's day better.
Their stop after Leroy was in Hayworth, where they grabbed a bite to eat and concluded their ride in Farmer City. And Tyler also loved motorcycles, which is why they had to make sure there were some Harleys in today's drive-by. Jen.
All right, thank you for sharing that story, Gabrielle. Coronavirus has had a big impact on blood donations. The Urbana Community Blood Services of Illinois says they didn't get as many donations over the past few months, so they opened their doors to help recover some of those losses. They're also focused on getting help from people who have had the virus.
The priority has been placed on finding people who have had an infection and a positive test who can later give plasma. And then those plasma donations can be used in patient care because they contain the antibodies to COVID-19.
For patients currently battling the disease, these antibodies can be crucial for a speedy recovery. Because the virus does not spread via blood transfusion, the drive does not test samples for it. However, it still takes preventative screening measures as well as telling people to wear masks and practice social distancing to prevent contamination. A local health department is urging people to stock up with at least 2 weeks of supplies for a disaster kit. That's because early on in the pandemic, essential items were harder to come by. So the Vermilion County Health Department says you should always stock up on things such as water, non-perishable food, first aid kits, as well as non-prescription medication and flashlights with batteries and blankets. The CDC says you should also include face masks, soap, hand sanitizer, and disinfecting wipes, while stressing it's important to have multiple kits, some for home, some for work, and in your car. Also tonight,
and it was kind of like one of those HGTV shows where you walk in and like, hey, I could do this.
we'll give you a look at Effingham's new fire station for Our Town Fall Edition.
Day Monday with still gloomy conditions across the viewing area. A rainy end to our day. We still have some rain ahead and a cooler end to the week. All the details right after this.